'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. That is how the tale started, the one that you know. But I'll tell you a secret. It wasn't quite so. Because if you look closer, you might see a door at the foot of the grandfather clock near the floor, and you'll see that it's open. "Oh, but look!" exclaimed Mouse, now excited to see the most beautiful star at the top of the tree. He had heard stars gave wishes, but could it be true? And he wondered if plain little mice might wish too.
Hello. Today, we will be reading the book Mouse's Night Before Christmas. Let's dive on in.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. That is how the tale started, the one that you know. But I'll tell you a secret. It wasn't quite so. Because if you look closer, you might see a door at the foot of the grandfather clock near the floor, and you'll see that it's open. And look! A small nose, and two twinkly black eyes, and some tiny pink toes. On that night before Christmas, dear reader, you see, there was one little mouse as awake as could be. And he peeked at the Christmas tree there in the hall. It had candles and tinsel, and quite best of all, lots of presents, he gasped. Then the mouse shook his head. "If I just had a friend to give gifts to," he said. "Oh, but look!" exclaimed Mouse, now excited to see the most beautiful star at the top of the tree. He had heard stars gave wishes, but could it be true? And he wondered if plain little mice might wish too. He decided to try it in case they just might, so he whispered his tiny wish into the night. But then out on the lawn there arose such a clatter that he scurried outside to see what was the matter. As he reached the stone steps, little Mouse gave a cry. "Gosh, it's Santa! But what could have happened? Oh my!"
"What a storm!" Santa shivered. "I'm sorry to say that somehow I think we have quite lost our way."
Then he checked to make sure all his reindeer were there as the snow whirled around in the frosty night air.
There's Dasher, there's Dancer, there's Prancer and Vixen, and Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But wait!
Santa stopped and bent down.
"Who are you?"
"I'm just Mouse," said the mouse. "Oh, how do you do?"
"Was it your wish I heard?"
Santa's eyes twinkled bright. "I did make a wish," answered Mouse with delight. Then he squeaked, "But you're lost. So the good girls and boys who are tucked in and sleeping won't get any toys." For a moment, Mouse thought. Then he suddenly cried, "I know just what to do. Please take me as your guide. I go out quite a lot when I'm lonely, you see. So if anyone knows their way around here, it's me." With a smile, Santa whisked him up onto the sleigh, and before Mouse could blink, they were up and away. As the moon brightly shone and the snow drifted down, little Mouse led the way through the streets of the town. Oh, what fun he had helping to carry the toys, and then fill up the stockings of good girls and boys. He was quiet and careful and ever so neat, quite the best little helper that Santa could meet. When their work was all done, Santa landed and said,
"I must leave you now, Mouse, and fly home to my bed."
"Must you go?" whispered Mouse, blinking back a small tear. "It was just so friendly to have someone here." As the snow iced the rooftops all sparkly and white,
"I'll be back,"
Santa promised,
"next Christmas Eve night. But till then, Mouse, your wish. I remembered, you know."
And he held out a box with a lovely red bow. Mouse unwrapped it at once. Oh! The skates were so sweet. But why 4 when he had only 2 tiny feet?
"That's not all,"
Santa smiled.
"It will soon become clear if you follow this map. Look, the path is marked here."
"Would the path lead the way to my wish?" the mouse cried. Santa winked. Why not see for yourself? He replied, with a bright, ho, ho, ho! Santa called from his sleigh. Very soon, little mouse, it will be Christmas Day! And then, whoosh! He was off through the starry night sky as the mouse far below waved a final goodbye. So Mouse followed the path which went up and went down. Why, it seemed to be taking him all over town. Then it led to the park and at last to a tree and then up on a snowy branch. What should Mouse see? But a small fluffy bird with his eyes big and wide.
Oh, could you be the friend that I wish for?
Bird cried.
For a friend?
Exclaimed Mouse.
But I wish for that too.
Then he held up the skates.
Merry Christmas to you.
So, dear reader, you see, on that night long ago, Mouse was not in his clock, but outside in the snow, and he skated with Bird till the sky turned bright blue. Two new friends with just one Christmas wish that came true.
The end. Remember, reading is fun, and reading is for everyone. I'll see you soon.